All Orb does is bitch about Marauders in IRC. Every time I go in there to talk, he's always talking about how ridiculous Marauders are.
Now they're shit. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, we're good to go. All right, Sean, we're here on Desert Oasis, the third map. Cauthon being up 2-0 over Orb. And in Week 5, we saw Cauthon do a really, really great Banshee cheese on this map. Do you think he has anything in store for the Protoss player Orb?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, especially considering the way he used Banshees in Game 1. I'm still, though, most just blown away at how unbelievably close Game 2 was that we just finished up. I mean, most of the time when people think really, close matches, they think of the ones where players, trade bases and do something crazy or an extreme like that. But, I mean, in terms of just straight-up attacking slugfest, those players were dead even in food almost throughout the entire game, up until the point when Orb tried to throw on a few more gateways and expand, and he just fell behind, and the pendulum swung way too fast back in the other direction.
Right. Now, one of the things I'm interested to see is if Orb actually utilizes the new Void Ray. And we talked about this. I'm going to go and plug the State of the Game podcast. We talked about Void Rays and how they're so much stronger now in army compositions of the Protoss player. I'm interested to see if he's going to be using them this game as Desert Oasis is a little bit bigger of a map, or bigger in the sense that it takes so much longer to get to your enemy's base. He's going to be putting that pylon next to his Nexus as he knows that he thinks he might be getting Reapered this game, which is a pretty smart play. And going back over to Cauthon, he's going to be blocking off there at the choke with the supply depot, or probably racks going up soon, really quick after that. And pretty standard stuff here in the beginning. Obviously not too much to talk about, and there's no really deviations happening yet.
Well, I'm a little disappointed Cauthon isn't going Refinery 10, Barracks 11, Factory 11, Starport 11.
I guess that is a deviation for Cauthon on this map.
Yeah, that is perhaps unorthodox given his own standards he's established for himself.
Right.
Looks like the good old 12 gateway going down. Very tight placement right here. But, that Void Ray is so obnoxious on this map, because if you just go all the way down to Cauthon base and look at these two geysers at the right, it's so common to get a Void Ray over there and just prevent Terran from mining any gas at all. You really do have to get Vikings very quickly in order to manage it.
We do see that Rax there a little bit off to the left of that supply depot, so he's going to be possibly throwing down a tech lab or a reactor. Probably a tech lab, though, as I think we're going to see some Reapers here from Cauthon. And we do see these two, or this probe and SV about to high-five each other there on the left side as they pass. And kind of, maybe not even a high-five, maybe they were just giving the bird to each other as they pass each other right there. But the probe is going to be going into Cauthon base relatively soon. He's going to be seeing that Rax spawning the Marine. Pretty much the same stuff that you've seen in the last two games in these openers. He's putting that rally point on the probe and going back over into Orb's base. He is dropping down that cybernetics core with the gas already done, not getting a zealot as well. So pretty standard stuff right now.
We do see those Marines coming out, taking out the probe. Ooh, some nice control. Look at that juking going on by Cauthon. He actually wants to keep the probe in his base because he still is going to be making a second Marine. He's not doing anything quite yet, and he just wants a guaranteed probe kill. We don't see anything nutty coming out of Orb's base. Want to see you whacking away at that pylon, but not the biggest deal in the world. Most important thing to note is that there are no pylons hiding around the map. That second assimilator is out nice and fast as a standard. So the big decision for Orb is he going to go something like a lot of Colossi, because this map has such abusable terrain in that fashion? Is he going to be going for air, or is he going to be going for some sort of straight-up funky warp gate push? And we do see a Stargate go down. Uh-oh.
Yes.
I haven't seen Orbital do a lot of Immortal Void Ray stuff.
One thing to note was he actually started researching the warp gates there on his cybernetics core and got about 2 seconds in and then decided just to immediately cancel it and get that Stargate down. And also another thing to note is that Cauthon did possibly see that Stargate come up. Although he can't click on it, he sees something warping. So hopefully he saw that Stargate warp, or he's going to be in for a surprise here pretty soon as he's going to have some Void Rays there attacking his peon line, his command center, or his refineries. Or really, anything. The Void Rays are really good at killing pretty much any building or any structure of the Terran forces.
Yeah, and especially from that patch 8, they're even stronger against Marines now, which I think is pretty significant. And Cauthon doing, okay, so I think you can clearly hear by my noises that I'm not a big fan of what Cauthon Luck's doing. So this is one of the standard harassment heavy openings that Terran does. He gets the reactor for the factory. Look at that, double Hellions coming out. Going to try to do some damage with that. But the problem here is that the distances are so far that it is almost impossible to be able to get there in time to do any harassment. Look at this. We do have the Stalker coming out from Orb. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. Looks like Orb's trying to control this SCV from scouting. But, I mean, even this Void Ray is going to be done in time for these Hellions to hold off. And how is Cauthon Luck going to deal with the Void Rays? Well, he has no anti-air plan. What, he has a tech lab for the barracks? So is he going to make Marines one at a time? Or the Marauders? Oh, look, yeah, it's a Marauder coming down. And the Void Ray is done. I mean, literally, if this Void Ray, look, it's going straight for the command center. There's, like, nothing here to defend it.
We do see it fly over that SCV as he was probably screaming, trying to get back to home base, because now this Void Ray is going to start out on its refinery. It's going to start building up its energy ray. You are going to see it increase. There it goes, getting a little bit more powerful. And probably another one there. Now it's fully charged up. You're going to see those SCVs try to repair it, but look, that Void Ray is just taking down that refinery just as fast as it was there at the level 1 armor, or level 1 weapon. You see it refocus now onto the upper refinery, and going back into Orb's base, you do see the second Void Ray now coming right towards Cauthon Luck's base. Cauthon is kind of trying to figure out what to do with these Hellions now, as he has 4 of them. It looks like those refineries are just eating up minerals right now, being repaired. He does get the lower one down. Now he's going to be getting this top one down. We do see another Void Ray come in now. He's going to be charging up another ray, excuse me. He's just wasting so many, or not wasting, but using so many minerals repairing this refinery right here.
Yeah, and I know. And look at this. You look at Cauthon Luck's main command center. It is at 92 energies, completely forgotten to get any sort of mules or any sort of really use at all. No scans or anything like that. Look, more Hellions trying to wander up at the top side. But, you know, Orb doing a decent job just holding it off. Look, repels them with absolutely no problem. We do have a Viking out right now, but those Void Rays still relatively strong against Vikings. They do get a bonus damage against armored, so it's still difficult. And look, harassing with the Void Rays. The big difference is that range 9 on those Vikings makes it so strong, holding off harassment. Oh my god, look, that Void Ray's getting so close to dead, but looks like some nice micro by Cauthon Luck's going to save him here.
And one thing to note is actually those Void Rays do take a little bit of time to charge up their attacks. So he's doing Cauthon Luck is being really smart here and just poking at those attacks whenever he sees orbs charged towards them and backing up as the range is low. See, there he goes again, backing up a little bit. Now he's going to go back into the attack because he knows the attack has been reset. We do see a second Viking now for Cauthon, and he was a little bit shooken up there by those Void Rays early on. He's going to be getting an engineering bay, but I think the range of the Void Ray actually is longer than those missile turrets can hit without the upgrades. So going back into Orb's base, he is getting that warp gate research. He's going to keep building those Void Rays. Looks like he's supply locked right now. We do see him putting in those sentries that he's really famous for. And a Nexus going down his natural expansion. And Cauthon is just kind of like getting back into the game here. He's going to use these Hellions that failed really poorly. They're going up against 2 Stalkers early on. He's going to try to get a little bit of scouting here. He sees the natural expansion on that pylon. And Cauthon really just kind of has to barrel down now. And I think we're going to see him turtle a little bit until he can get a little bit more Vikings, as he knows that Orb is going these powerful Void Rays.
Yeah, I mean, those Void Rays, they do actually have equal range to the turrets. So, I mean, they can just barely trade hits with each other. But the big issue is that, I mean, look at this turret that Cauthon Luck has to the right. Sure, your gas is protected, but because they have equal range, you need a lot of turrets to cover your whole base. That's why Cauthon Luck is favoring getting so many Vikings right now to be able to manage that. So he's also going to try to go for some harass. He's assuming that Orb has absolutely nothing to deal with this, but he is quite wrong. Here they come. It looks like they're going to be landing. It looks like he has a Void Rays. Still haven't moved yet. Oh, no, he hasn't seen the harassment. No reaction yet from Orb. He does have 1 warp gate and should definitely try warping those in as fast as possible. But, man, not a ton of kills going down on those Vikings. Here comes the Void Ray. He's lifting up to try to be able to do some damage maybe, but first he's going to try to scoot back and abuse that range 9 on those Vikings.
Yeah, but we do see Orb now going into the robotics facility, getting that observer. Looks like it's rallied towards his natural expansion. He needs to re-rally that and probably send it to Cauthon Luck's base. I don't know, maybe he feels like scouting his natural expansion. But we do see more. Actually, he stopped building Void Rays. He's at about, looks like 4 Void Rays right now. You just see a ton of Vikings now streaming across the middle of the map. Looks like about 6 Vikings sitting there in the middle of the map, getting ready to go back and to harass the peon line of Orb there at his main.
Oh my god, he needs to be able to warp in units quickly enough. I inadvertently pinged the map down there, so I'm trying to come back here and check the health. Look at that. Some nice micro sniping off one of those Void Rays. Another one's going to go down immediately. There are no units anywhere in sight. He's trying to take them down, but only manages to take out one Viking. Those Void Rays did quite a bit of damage at the start. Not working out right now. Trying to get 2 sentries in there, but look at that. That incredibly fast fire rate from those Vikings. 14 damage. Being some serious issues right here now for this probe line. Looks like he is going to be able to take out most of the Vikings, though. But still, big food lead right now for Terran at 72 food.
Yeah, when we first started this match, I wasn't thinking we were going to see that much action, but it looks like these players have started to use the air forces of their respective armies, and we've just seen a ton of peon harassment, just trading peons back and forth from both of these players, or, excuse me, refineries for Orb, but just overall harassment from both players, and it's really exciting to watch. We do see Orb having a bunch of Stalkers now at his natural expansion, and an Immortal there at the peon line of his Nexus there, because I think those pretty much destroy Vikings if they decide to land, and they can't do anything to the Immortals. So pretty standard stuff right now in terms of these transitions. Looking back into Cauthon Lux, he's going to be getting that natural expansion down, and we do see him now. I'm not sure. Okay, it looks like he stopped building the Vikings, getting that kind of standard Marauder Marine medevac stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like this unit composition for Orb looks like the right composition, having a lot of Immortals, getting a good amount of gateway units, but the issue is that he's just so behind in terms of economy. I mean, he was just thrown back. I mean, just looking at the food differences, 83 food right now for Cauthon Luck and 66 food for Orb. Ooh, big drop coming in, but it is going to get spotted. Look at this observer. Look at that. Gets to see so easy. Even whips around, letting us observers know that he is, in fact, preparing for this drop. We have another. Oh, no. Look at this beautiful job. Some Hellion harass at the other expo. He's now warping in some sentries to try to do some damage there. But look at this. There's a big drop coming down right now. They are target firing those Immortals, but the Immortals are falling so fast. Can he throw down enough force fields? The sentries do end up falling. There's too much distraction going on at this natural. He's trying to pull this big army of sentries and stalkers back into the base. Not the biggest Marine Marauder force. Oh no, he's target firing the Nexus. Will he be able to take it out in time? He just might be able to. The Stalkers, look, taking out one of the dropships, predicting that he would in fact load back in. Oh my god,
wow,
he gets out
that second one.
Ship. But, I mean, meanwhile, Cauthon Luck let his money get way high. Cauthon Luck at over 1,000. Looks like he's sort of calming back down again, I think that was an incredible blunder by Cauthon Luck. I mean, he got in there. He was at a huge advantage. He could have done serious hurt if he just straight up attacked the army of Orb. But instead, target fired this Nexus. His eyes got big. Ran in there, killed it off, but then lost 2 medevacs full of units, like completely full of units. And Cauthon Luck, as we can see, is pretty much mined out in his main. Orb retaking his main as well. Orb, if he just holds down for a little while, he might be able to just pull through.
Yeah, it looks like both players are just going to be rebuilding their forces right here. So while we have a little bit of a lull, I want to talk a little bit about how easily structures go down in this game compared to StarCraft 1. A lot of players, or I see a lot of players complaining about the fact that command centers, nexuses, and hatcheries just fall so quickly to units like that. And I want to see what your thoughts are on that.
Well, in my eyes, it's pretty much just the Immortal, which is the big building killer. I mean, in StarCraft 1, I mean, you could just get a Marine medic army right up to a hatch and kill it almost immediately. And I'm talking 7 Marines, 1 medic. But I do think that the Immortal itself, just as a building killer, creates a lot of awesome strategies. The idea that buildings are armored and that Immortals get a plus bonus damage, you can do a lot of cool things with Immortal drops, getting in your opponent's face that way, killing depots, because look at that, depots have 350 life. That's almost nothing. That's only 7 shots from an Immortal. So, I mean, definitely a lot of cool stuff going on there, but the problem is that Orb is so far back against the wall in this game that it's going to be hard for him to try to return any sort of counter-harass. We do see Cauthon Luck getting ready yet again to make a big push, and I do think that if Orb holds this one off, he will be in great position to win this game.
Right, looks like he does have most of his forces still inside of his main from that previous drop there as he killed those 2 medevacs. Now we do see Cauthon kind of just sitting right now. I'm wondering what he's doing with these forces. I guess he's waiting for a little bit more forces as he has a ton of racks down now. He has 4, his natural expansion and 3 inside of his base. Just continuing to spawn Marauders. He does have that concussive shell upgrade and the stim pack. So now we see him moving towards the high yield. And that probe possibly is going to be seeing the forces of Cauthon here relatively soon. And there he goes. He knows something is up right now. He sees him coming straight towards him. He's going to be moving these two Immortals back. Oh, wow. We do see a Viking drop, actually, back in the peon line, but that gets easily taken out by Orb. I guess he just he saw into the future and knew that the Viking drop was going to be coming. Now we're going back to the natural expansion of Orb. We see, wow, that Immortal just falling. Wow, it looks like he's going to snipe another Nexus in about 3 seconds and destroy Orb's economy and then just run. That's got to be so frustrating for Orb right now.
Maybe he can throw down some force fields and cut this army off. There it is. There's some nice sniping action. So Orb, oh no, a Marauder drop in the main as well. Looks like he's trying to pull back all his probes as well, but more probes getting rallied in there. It looks like he is also supply blocked, so he can't even get any units there. But it looks like Cauthon Luck ignored the fact that this cannon was being morphed right there and is actually continuing to stim and target fire. And it looks like Orb is relying now on this gold expansion. And ooh, the medevac's taking some hits too. So I mean, Orb just thinking to himself, I need to win with this huge attack right here or it's lights out. And considering that huge Marauder count for Cauthon Luck, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, he's going to have some really impressive force fields here to split the army of Cauthon Luck. We do see Cauthon now taking out that extra Stalker, and now the fight's about to start. We do see him, wow, a pretty decent split, but it looks like it's not going to be enough as those Marauders are just doing work on the Orb's forces. Possibly going to see a GG here as there is actually no Nexus of Orb right now currently alive. So there's the GG. He's still not leaving the game. I guess he's just kind of waiting. Maybe he's going to make Cauthon kill. Okay, there we go. I thought he was going to be kind of bad mannered there and make him kill all of his forces. That is a 3-0 for Cauthon, but remember, this is a best of 7, so we still have possibly one more match. But, wow, getting a little comment there. I'm not going to read that on air. I'll possibly tell everyone afterwards. Probably shouldn't have even said anything. But anyways, Desert Oasis going to Cauthon Luck there, and really another action-packed game, Sean. I'm really surprised that we saw such aggressive playstyle from both players right there.
Yeah, good old topsy-turvy there by Cauthon Luck. I mean, Void Rays came in, did serious hurt, and Cauthon Luck whipped right back around with those Vikings, did that beautiful scoot and shoot micro to take out the Void Rays because, again, range 9 over range 7 for those Vikings, so able to take them out, minimizing those losses, and then just constantly bounce back and forth and back and forth. And I mean, really, I thought the game was still pretty close up until that Nexus snipe at the natural. The Nexus snipe in the main, I actually think, was the huge blunder that brought Orb back into the game. But that just goes to show you, if you just scout a little bit better, that can make all the difference.
All right, so we'll be back relatively soon on Kulos Ravine with Cauthon Luck up 3-0 over Orb here on Week 7 of the MLG Showcase Series.